Hey everybody, welcome to the Always Out of Market podcast. You got your favorite little boys here. It's Super Wild Card weekend. Everybody's excited. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Yeah,
Not
it's
very
time to
excited.
every fan of certain teams to freeze their ass off or potentially die. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we've got some exciting games this week. Unfortunately, only two of our 5 podcast teams made the playoffs, but we're still all pretty excited for it. Mostly, I'm not a big fan of the NFC side at all, but we're gonna have some fun. We just finished our fantasy league too, so we're gonna touch on that this podcast. But yeah, I'll just introducing everybody again. I guess I should do that. I'm Ryan, Ryan Reed, the cool one. We got Gavin, who's going to be the cool one when he goes to Kansas City and fucking freezes his ass off.
Very much so.
Yeah, we got Jason, the mild one. We have Matthew, the honey barbecue one, and we have Steven, the garlic parmesan one.
I didn't see where you were going with that.
I want to be
I
garlic
don't know.
parmesan.
I don't know.
Some reason I thought you
Yeah,
were just gonna say like the fucking bland one for me or something.
No, I would've been-
The vanilla one.
The vanilla wing.
I just want to point out that Gavin didn't get a flavor. He's just cool.
Yeah.
He's Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch, that's what I was about to
Tyler,
say.
I forgot about Tyler, dude, because Tyler, I don't see his face. And Tyler is the fucking lemon pepper one.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That's
And-
one out of everybody.
Yeah. Me and Gavin are just the cool guys, though. We're the cold wings you put in your fridge.
But yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna obviously, as usual, we start off with some news. So I'm assuming Jason is still our news boy. Go ahead and take it away.
Nothing has changed since last week. So,
Any-
absolutely not
Is there
true.
any wing related news? That's our theme for today is wings.
actually, yes. The first bullet point. I have the NFL announced the teams that are playing as the home teams for London and Germany next year. The Bears, Jaguars, and Lions, or not Lions. I don't know why I said Lions. I read Vikings and said Lions. Bears, Jaguars, and Vikings will be playing in London as the home team, and the Panthers will be playing in Germany as the home team.
Everyone knows that Germany really likes wings, so expect
Yeah.
them there.
Yep.
We don't know who the teams in Brazil are going to be yet. They haven't announced any of those teams yet.
I
for that
forgot
game.
about that.
To be honest.
It'll probably be the Seahawks Falcons game.
Maybe.
Look,
One can only hope.
we
You're still going to go, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
we got to accept that there's just going to start being more and more international games. You know, it brought in so much money this year.
Yeah.
Yep. The good thing for me is the Broncos don't play as an away team against any of those teams that have been announced so far. So as of right now, I'll have more opportunities to go to games this upcoming season.
There's Rio de Janeiro though. It could be on one of those.
I could be or no, it's not in Rio. It's in Sao Paulo.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, please, Ryan, get it right.
The
Yeah.
Brazilian game.
Yep. And then I've got the Ravens designated Mark Andrews to be back from IR, so they're
That
going to
is
get their tight end
huge.
back. Isaiah
Yeah.
Likely filled the shoes very well though while he was out. So
He
We'll see.
honestly could be a tight end one anywhere else. Honestly,
Yeah.
he really could be.
Could see him getting a big contract in the offseason if he's going to be a free agent.
he can
That
go
was a
play
good
for he can
stretch.
he can come play for Denver. I wouldn't be upset about that. But now we get into the thick of it. The regular season has come to an end, as we talked about, and the coaching carousel is in full swing. There is currently, there was 8 openings, which was 25% of the league. One of those openings has been filled already, but those teams, and just a reminder that the Chargers fired Brandon Staley, the Panthers fired Frank Reich, and the Raiders fired Josh McDaniels in season. But then, since Monday, the Falcons fired Arthur Smith, the Commanders fired Ron Rivera, and then the last 3 are all bombshell-like types of coaching changes. The Patriots and Bill Belichick have parted ways. And that is the one team that has filled their head coaching spot already with Gerard Mayo. He was promoted from within, from linebacker coach up to head coach. And
He's
then we have
beloved in that locker room too.
Yeah.
A lot of quotes coming out saying how they would run through a wall for Gerard Mayo. So the Patriots are going to be fine.
Yeah.
Isn't that the second coach
crazy.
from that draft class from the Patriots to be a coach? I think I read that earlier.
Maybe.
I think him and Kevin O'Connell.
All I know is he's the youngest head coach in the NFL now, and it's not Sean McVay anymore.
1 month.
Yep,
Yeah.
1 month. And then we have 2 podcast teams no longer have their head coach. The Titans fired Mike Vrabel, and the Seahawks did not fire Pete Carroll, but he kind of stepped down, but he's going to still be an advisor with the team.
From what I read on that, I saw that it was like a disagreement because the organization wants to get a new quarterback, and Pete Carroll wanted to stick with Geno.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
I read that earlier today as one
Whether
of
or not that's true, we'll never actually know unless they come out and just say it. But yeah. So 8 total coaches so far have been fired, and there's already been rumors that a team in the playoffs wants Bill Belichick. So we may go up to a 9th team depending on what happens during the playoffs.
that team seems to be the Eagles.
Or the Cowboys. So
one thing,
Jerry Jones would make that move.
so bringing up the coaches, obviously, like Jason said, 3 of us here have those 2 coaches as was our team's head coach. I'll say we can briefly talk about it, but if you're listening to the podcast, be aware during the off season we had this idea where we're going to have basically a therapy session for each one of our podcast teams, and we'll probably dive into it a little bit more deep on that episode. But I would love to, especially Ryan, I'd love to hear what you think just briefly about Pete Carroll getting moved out of that role. I'm not going to say fired.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy about it because it wasn't his choice. He would have. I mean, he wanted to stay the head coach. I'm glad they didn't just outright fire him and get him out of the organization. But still, I mean, Pete Carroll. I don't give a shit if we've kind of hit like a plateau recently. He deserves to retire as a Seahawk. We're not dog shit. We have the potential. He deserved to retire as a Seahawk, and I'm kind of pissed.
Just barely missed the playoffs. Just
They were 1 win away.
Exactly, and we got a winning record anyway. It's not like we fucking went 2 and fucking 15. We went 9-8. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. He's only missed the playoffs twice since I've been a fan, and he's not a fucking bad coach at all, and he deserved to retire because he's definitely the best coach Seattle has ever had, hands down. He's the goated Seattle coach.
He can still technically retire as a Seahawk because he's still on the coaching staff technically.
But I'm also not going to blame him if he wants to go be a head coach somewhere if people offer him stuff. But also I don't know if people will because he is just he is old.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I bet a couple teams will probably reach out to him. Whether or not he wants to take those on, I guess, is another thing. But
yeah, we'll see. But
yeah, we'll see.
I feel bad. Go ahead.
I would say same thing with Mike Vrabel. He's going to wind up being a head coach somewhere else next year.
Hopefully the Seahawks. I kind of want Vrabel for the Seahawks. I'll be honest. But yeah. I was
going to say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
Let me just touch on the last thing. So I feel obviously I'm it sucks that Pete Carroll's gone. I feel even worse for people who actually live in Washington and Seattle area because not only did they lose Pete Carroll, but fucking their head coach just left after going to the national championship to go to Bama, in the exact same fucking 3 days. Now all their players are fucking transferring away. I feel so bad for people who actually live in the Seattle area because their college and their fucking NFL teams are just fucked now. Not fucked. We're not fucked, but a lot of sad leaves.
I was gonna say I did see rumors that Vrabel was probably gonna take the year off from coaching.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. He might still take a job, but I did see rumors flying around that he was gonna take the year off.
I haven't heard about him having any interviews yet. So
the betting odds wise, and talk about the top 2 prospects for the Seahawks are going to be Dan Quinn as number 1, and then Vrabel is number 2. So, and that makes sense. I mean, they're both really good defensive-minded coaches, and we probably need that because our offense is already. I mean, it has the weapons if we get a little bit just more gumption or whatever. But our defense needs help, and so yeah, like I said, I wouldn't mind it being Dan Quinn or Vrabel. I hope it's one of those 2, honestly. They're both really good coaches, so we'll see. I don't think we're gonna have an issue finding a good coach. Considering we're not a bad team, like I said, the coaches
Yeah.
aren't going in on a fucking rebuild. Like we have fucking tons. We have a lot of star players on our team. So
You're not the Panthers or
exactly,
Titans or
or the
anything like that.
Commanders. Like
Or
of
the
the other
Commanders.
teams, of the teams that have lost their coaches this year, we are the best team. So I'm not too worried about us getting a good coach.
That's it for news. I don't know if the Titans guys want to talk about Vrabel or not.
I
at
mean,
all,
I was going to touch on it briefly.
Yeah.
I'll say, we've talked a lot about this off podcast with several people here. So, and again, like I said, I want to try to leave a lot of my thoughts, especially for when we do this like off season episode talking about certain teams. I think that'll be a really cool thing to do. We're going to do it with each team, or of the podcast teams that we know a lot more about. But I'll say, and I know me and Tyler mostly are on the same page about this. I was kind of on the fence about it because initially I thought, I really think they should have, regardless of what happened in the organization, because things obviously were getting heated behind the scenes. It's very well known at this point that it got heated, but I thought for sure. People asked me about Vrabel before he got fired. Was like, is he going to be let go? And I said no. I thought they were going to at least give him another year. I think they should have given him this next year. They're going to have all that salary cap space. You already had fired John Robinson, our last GM, and that kind of was the tone setter of, hey, our ownership and the organization thinks that it's a roster issue, not a coaching issue. So that's why it made sense to fire John Robinson. Then they brought in Rand Carthon. That's caused some heat because apparently Vrabel didn't want Rand Carthon. But blah, 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 all these things happened. And we still had another disappointing season. So I guess I get it. But at the same time, I really would have liked to have seen him with a brand new, fresh slate. Because we are still, this year was so bad. And we had to get just really like, disappointing offensive linemen because our salary cap was so fucked. I would have liked to have seen what he'd do next year, but we'll never know now. So I do say if they go for a defensive-minded coach, I think it's a huge mistake. If you want new perspective, like they've been saying they want, go for offensive-minded coach.
I probably has no actual stock in it, but I did see something on Twitter about how one of the theories of why Vrabel got fired was because the owner was butthurt of how like he talked at the Patriots like Hall of Fame induction or whatever in the season, and how he was talking about how like the Patriots were his team and everything, and like we got this. I heard it was because the Titans owner was like butthurt about him doing that.
Well, he also never denied wanting the Patriots job. He never said he wanted to stay in Tennessee.
Yeah,
I mean, he did say I want to be here, but Vrabel. If you watch any of Vrabel's press conferences the entire time he's been a Titans head coach, he's never answered any questions. I mean, most coaches don't, but he really doesn't. He hates talking to the media. We all knew that. It's also why it was actually entertaining a lot of times because of how he was against the media. But the whole thing with the Patriots thing, Amy Adams Strunk gave him permission to go.
Yeah.
So I do say, I will say what he said at the end about, enjoy it here because it's not like it here anywhere else or whatever, something like that. And so apparently that rubbed her the wrong way. But I do think there was already friction because she was upset about how he wanted to hire, and do an internal hire for GM and stuff. And that's been a big problem with the Titans under his reign for this entire time. It's just he wants to do internal. He wants the people that he knows are going to be yes men to him. So he wanted internal. That's why we had Todd Downing. That's why we ended up getting Tim Kelly this year. I wanted an external hire for offensive coordinator. We got Tim Kelly instead. So I think ultimately that was the idea of moving on, trying to get a new perspective and just see what it looks like. New year, new everything, because it's going to be a completely different team.
We have steadily declined after each year with Vrabel, so it's gotten a little worse every year.
Well, so does the roster, though, with him. It's not like there's been a lot of success whenever it comes to building a roster.
He's wanting these guys. He's getting the guys that are undersized to play the line. He's wanting these guys and putting them in these positions.
Y'all are also losing Henry this year, probably.
We are now. I know Henry wanted Vrabel too, so I think it was already a slim chance, but now I feel like there's no chance that Henry comes back. And that
on his last game, he said to the stadium "Thank you for all these 8 years." It was an obvious goodbye speech. So.
Yeah, but I mean, he addressed. That's the thing is everybody that got national media, but no one talked about his press conference when he said was a thank you. That was a thank you and goodbye just in case. But that was of course before Vrabel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's also talking about the roster. The other thing that I always want to address is that something that people don't think about is that Vrabel inherited a decent roster when he became the Titans head coach. And he has not done, in my opinion, a very good job of developing the young players. So that's another thing that's going against him. I still think he's a good head coach, but seeing what has happened with some of our younger players has just not taking that next step has really hurt him too.
The last thing that I'll say is I'm hopeful that the next strength and conditioning guy is a really good strength and conditioning coach. Because whoever Vrabel had, I don't know why he refused to fire that guy. We went through so many fucking players.
And then they don't get hurt anywhere else. But regardless, let's move on. We don't need to talk about this anymore today. But I will say, very mixed feelings about it. We'll see how this next year goes. But I have said to Ryan, if he goes to the Seahawks and takes them to a Super Bowl, I will jump off a bridge, officially.
I told him to jump off the bridge right by Nissan Stadium and flip off the stadium as he's falling.
Yeah, there you go. So, but we'll talk about it more when we go in depth on our team. So look forward to that after we get done with playoffs and all that. What else we got, Jason, or is that it for news?
That's it.
You want to mention the backup of the game, I guess?
I was thinking we were just going to mention it when we got to the games, but now that you said it,
use it now.
Steelers Bills game has been postponed from Sunday to Monday afternoon because of the weather.
The governor did it.
Yeah, the governor pushed it back. Don't understand the reasoning behind it really, because the weather's going to be worse on Monday than it was on tomorrow. But whatever. If we get 2 games every day for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Also, we're talking about it at the Bills, so I imagine that their fans would just walk to the stadium anyway because that's probably what they normally do when it's weather like that.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't actually directly affect me, so I shouldn't care. It's just kind of like, why did you do that?
Maybe he's hoping that the weather will subside quicker than initially forecasted. I don't know.
Another little side note, though, on that, too. It really fucks over the Bills because they're going to have 2 days less rest for whoever they play, or the Steelers.
I mean, I guess they could swap the games around.
It's just going to depend on how the games go and who's playing who, so.
Yep.
All right, well, let's switch over. Let's look at fantasy real quick. So, I'm going to pull it up here. Congratulations to Gavin for winning the Fantasy Football League this year.
Let's go!
I managed to upset Jason in the semifinals, and then so it was me versus Gavin, and I mean, I'm happy to say that I looked back through it. I made some incorrect picks on who I was going to play, but the only solace I have is that even if I had played my most optimal players, I still would have lost to Gavin. So at least it wasn't one of those, I could have won and I fucked it up. So, but overall, though, I still thought it was a pretty good game for, last 2 weeks.
100%.
So, how you feeling, Gavin? You feeling good about it?
Obviously, we feel good whenever we come to the end of a championship run here. Had gotten really worried whenever Steven ended up upsetting Jason, because I was more worried about Steven's roster being able to just explode than Jason's for some reason. And I just got lucky with some of the guys that I put in. I am excited, though, more so about the other half of the standings, the bottom half. I'm excited to see what jersey Tyler is going to end up.
I will say,
do you have it, Tyler?
No, I don't have it yet.
before we move to the loser bracket or whatever, I think a big part of obviously it was you did you have a great team and everything, but I think that first round really set the bar of how me, Jason, and Matthew all drafted, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Travis Kelce, and all of them didn't do well.
Yeah.
And then you got C-Mac at like 4th, and so I think that was like the first like
6th.
Yeah, you got C-Mac at 6.
Oh, 6. That's right. Yeah.
No, fifth.
No,
Fifth,
yeah, that's right. Tyler was
who
fifth.
was the 4th pick? Oh yeah, you were the 4th pick, Steven.
Yeah,
With
remember,
Eckler.
I
Eckler.
chose between Eckler and
Oh, yeah.
CMC.
Yeah.
Whoops.
The worst
Big
fucking
whoops.
first 4. I mean, we could have known, like, honestly, but the first 4 picks were just awful looking back on the fucking thing.
Hey, you know what? I'll take the victory and get the most points this season. So
Yeah, there you go.
I'm okay with what happened this year.
I'll
And
take
I had
the
the best record.
Yeah, let me
Yep.
scroll over just a little bit here so we can show it all. Hold on, let me zoom out.
We go
Very
into the final
professional
thing.
setup.
So I officially beat Tyler like 5 fucking times, and so he for sure is the bottom of the league.
And apparently Tyler has ordered his jersey.
Oh, have you, Tyler?
Yeah.
The Josh Allen?
Spoilers.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, first off, you don't have a webcam, so it's not like it matters anyway. You might as well
Yeah, we're
just
not gonna
tell
get a
us what you
reveal.
got.
You'll see it. I'll wear it to the next thing we do.
Okay.
Well, Gavin's not going to be there because he's in Kansas.
I'll
So,
see
he'll
Gavin's
watch
picture.
he'll watch the video or something, yeah.
Of course I am.
But yeah,
Of course we're gonna watch the video.
so Tyler got, we did the fantasy league punishment for last place, and he did the get a least favorite team jersey or least favorite player jersey, and he did a very interesting combination of the two, but we'll get into that later, I guess. What way to fucking blue balls our fans here, Tyler. All right.
I mean, I literally already said what it was going to be, so but it could be 2 options. That's the thing.
Well, now that you said that, now people are gonna be like, "Ooh, maybe it is the other one." So
I'm about to say you don't know who it is.
they're both good players. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say so. But yeah, other than that, I don't know if you want to talk about anything else for fantasy. We're ready to just move on. We're gonna definitely, I'll say we're definitely doing it different next year because Ryan got fucked and had, like he said, he had to beat Tyler like 6 times in order to get 5th place officially. So we're going to do a different setup next year where basically I think everyone's going to be in the playoffs, but then just determine who gets like a first round bye and stuff like that. We're going to figure it out, and we're definitely not going to go into week 18 for fantasy.
That was awful.
Yeah.
One last thing, as just to make sure our audience knows I'm not bad at fantasy again. I was in 4 fantasy leagues this year, and I won every single league except for this one.
Well, you're lying.
I'm not lying. I could fucking pull up the fucking. I'm not gonna pull up the thing, but I got me. I won in a money league. I won in my fucking college league, and I won in a stupid division league. So
I'm happy to say, I ended up going into the championship in both my leagues, and I was like, I just want to win one of them, and I did win the other one, and the other one had money on the table, so pretty happy about it.
Yep.
So
I also
won
won a fantasy championship this year. So
yay.
Matthew, did you win a fantasy championship?
No, I didn't.
Wow, Matthew sucks ass.
Tyler, did you win your other one?
No, I got upset.
Ah, dang.
Oh, so it sounds like Matthew and Tyler are the real losers here, guys.
You're in 5th and I'm in 3rd, so
I got 3 championship wins this year, boy. I don't care.
doesn't matter.
I don't give a shit about this league.
This is the league that matters.
I won $100. That was the league that matters.
This is the league that matters for the podcast. That's it, yeah.
let's get into stats, Steven.
All right, so let's move on to stats, and then, of course, we'll go into our picks. So starting off, let's look at the Week 18 final stats. Ryan did double-check me on this, because I know he would. So congratulations, Matthew. You ended very strongly this season. The last few weeks, you've been doing very well. Finished at first this week, 75%. Tyler also has been doing better. Finished in second, 69%. Then we had a 3-way tie for third. Me, Jason, and no, sorry, not me. Sorry, Ryan, Jason, and Gavin. Sorry, I forgot I suck. And then I finished last this week, 9 out of 16, 56%.
So to remind everybody, if you didn't see last week's episode, I got 10 out of 16 by just picking which mascot would beat the other mascot. So I beat Steven with just doing that fucking bullshit.
It's almost like we talked about that the NFL is unpredictable and you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's why, like, remember when Megan was making picks and she was doing better than all of us?
Yep.
So that she knows nothing about football. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, but let's move on. We got you were right, we were wrong. This is the only one we had this week. Tyler was the only one who picked the Rams over the 49ers. Of course, they were both, playing their third string and fourth string players, so it doesn't really matter. But this was the only game that was. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm a big Carson Wentz guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't watch this game, so I don't imagine it was all that great because, again, nobody was playing in it. But, all right. Hope y'all like the graphic.
Amazing. The Ram knocking them all off a cliff. We're all in suits. We're sharply dressed while we're dying. It's great.
Yeah. We got nice ties on and stuff too.
Ryan doesn't have a tie.
I don't.
Yeah, he does.
He does. It's just blended in.
Oh, it's just blended in.
Yeah.
We're all matching that, like we usually do in real life. We usually match with each other in person.
I just want to say the best thing about this year on the podcast is just how many fucking pictures I've had to go and delete, and I've had so many fucking pictures of Sourdough Sam and a fucking Dodge Ram. I've got all these things that I'm like, well, time to just delete all this shit.
Also, whenever Steven closes his eyes, he just sees the cutouts of our faces right in his eyelids.
What is it, Matty?
There's nobody that believes you deleted the pictures of Sourdough Sam. You don't have to lie.
No, I'm not. I still have this picture of Sourdough Sam. I'm saying all the other things I've got.
Everything else but them.
He's actually replaced his background, which was him and Megan. He put Sourdough Sam's head over Megan's face.
Well, it's been Derrick Henry over like stiff arming a Charger player for a while, but now maybe I should put Sourdough Sam as my background.
Or your wife.
Nah.
No.
Not as good.
You have 3 monitors, Steven. You could have 3 backgrounds.
I guess I could, yeah.
All
right.
Could all be Sourdough Sam.
Well, Megan likes Sourdough Sam too, so she might actually appreciate it.
Just have one monitor be the left side of Sourdough Sam, the middle, and then the right. That way you have his face.
All right,
you guys should have a threesome with Sourdough Sam.
Oh, gross. Let's move on.
All right, let's go.
All right, moving on to overall stats. So yeah, because of this stupid fucking final week with Ryan, of course I blow it. Like I did last year. So last year I blew first place and got second behind Jason. This year I blew third place and now I tied with Ryan. But congratulations, Gavin. You are the best in our fucking podcast at everything, apparently, you dick. You had to win in the overall pick'ems plus also the fantasy. So Gavin, go ahead.
I'm just happy you didn't blow us out, or most of us out.
Yeah, I mean it was relatively close. He started to run away with it again at the end, but so yeah, Gavin finished 65% overall, 177 picks correct. Jason finished second, 172 picks, 63%. Me and Ryan tied at 61%, 167 picks correct. And then overall, I mean, y'all started to really come back there at the end, 5th and 6th place. Tyler finished 5th, 152 picks, 56%. And then Matthew in 6th, 148 picks, 54%. So everybody finished above 50%, and most of us beat the analysts. So we should be hired by ESPN.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, at this point. Go ahead, Matthew.
Oh, I was just going to say, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Somebody go.
All right. I was about to say, one thing that definitely skews our picks is our biases. Every single one of us definitely, I think for the most part, most of us picked our team every single week. So there's almost, even if it's insurmountable odds, like there was a couple of times, like when we played the Eagles and whenever the Dolphins played the Bills week 3, I was more so hoping that we would win rather than like, oh yeah, this team's going to win. But I know for a fact, like Jason, I don't think he picked against the Broncos too much. I know you and Tyler definitely didn't pick against the Titans. I know Ryan didn't pick against the Seahawks.
I picked against... No, I picked I'm the only one I think that picked against my team this year. Is that right? Or-
Matthew picked against the Packers early on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he picked against the
Number
Packers a
one.
lot.
No, I picked against the Titans twice, and they
And they
won
won
those
both
games. So, being the Dolphins, I picked the Dolphins over the Titans, and then I picked the Chargers over the Titans, which that was early on with the Chargers. I would not have definitely picked the Chargers later on in the season with how they were this year. But yeah, I got the Titans wrong more than anyone else in the podcast. I went through and did like stats on all that, and that depressed me a little bit. But,
Oh, I
Because
remember
you
what I was
didn't
gonna
even
say.
pick him for the 2 wins. Fuck.
yeah.
If I wouldn't have had that week where I got one game right, I would have beat Tyler.
You got 2. It was
Yeah.
2.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've only missed 15 games that week.
That was, to be fair, that week was horrible for everyone. That
Yeah.
was upset city. I still have the old like stats. I have to go back through it. I need to like post all of that in our Discord again, just to look at how the season has evolved over time, and then all the you were right, we were wrongs, and
Yeah.
worst picks of the week.
So you could if you wanted to, you don't have to. But you could do like everybody's best week and everybody's worst week, like with each person.
Yeah, we need to look at all that, but we'll do that, of course.
I think
in our
I
own
know
time.
most of our worst week. It's all that same one
Yeah, it's
where
the same
like
week,
Matthew
probably,
got
yeah.
fucking 14.
Yeah, it was
Also-
really bad.
Steven, if you want to let everybody know that there will be a tiebreaker for you and Ryan to decide who gets third.
Yeah, we haven't
We're gonna
decided.
mud wrestle.
No, we talked about doing that. So we're gonna predict the Super Bowl, and I don't know exactly how we're gonna do it. We got to figure out the like logistics of it, I guess, but we'll figure it out. But
I
it'll
think-
probably be some sort of prediction on the score and then who wins and stuff like that. So.
I just think that whatever we do, it'd be the other three of them decide the actual rules of the.
Oh
tiebreaker,
yeah, it
not-
won't be
not
up
me
to
and you.
us.
Yeah. So y'all three can come up with an idea for the tiebreaker, or all four. He wasn't not seeing Tyler's face and forgetting he's here.
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
I'm here.
Well, show your face then.
His,
Don't actually fuck up
no,
the
yeah,
prediction.
no, don't do it. You don't move everybody around again. I will cry. All right, let's move on. We got the all the teams are we got the whole teams eliminated, clinched, all that. We're down to the final 14 teams, I guess.
Final countdown.
Yeah. And of course, I'm trying to think the teams that got eliminated in the final week. The Seahawks were one, Saints, Jaguars were
Colts.
one, Colts officially two.
Saint, Vikings,
Yeah,
Falcons.
it was crazy how many teams it really just came down to the wire this year. But
The
hell of a
Bears let me
season.
down.
huh?
The Bears let me down.
They did.
We did our half. The Bears didn't do their half.
I really thought the Bears would look better in that game than they did
Yep.
against the Packers. It was.
Packers are the best team in the league. We're winning the Super Bowl.
I don't think you'll be saying that in about 30 hours.
I think I will, Jason. Your team's at home.
Yeah, they are, because they suck ass.
All right, well, let's move on. We've got our official bracket, and we all did make a bracket for ourselves, but this is just the standard bracket without us making any of our picks. We'll get to that after we go through the games. But yeah, so the Ravens and the 49ers have the 1 seed. You got the Texans taking on the Browns, the Chiefs taking on the Dolphins, the Bills taking on the Steelers, Cowboys with the Packers, Rams, Lions, and then Eagles, Buccaneers. And I got to say, the NFL scriptwriters had a really good time with this bracket. Are you kidding
Yes,
me?
they did.
There's like so many revenge games in here. It's ridiculous. You got Tyreek Hill going back, or no, yeah, you got Tyreek Hill going back to Arrowhead because they did play earlier this year, but it was not in Arrowhead. It was in Germany. You got the Browns versus the Texans, which right now is going to be, since Deshaun Watson isn't playing, it's not as big of a deal, but that is still an interesting matchup given that huge trade that basically fucked over the Browns, even though they
It's
look like they're
also
good this year, and
It's
really
also
helped
a
the
rematch
Texans.
from a regular season game as well.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking if the Dolphins lose and the Browns win, we could have a Joe Flacco returning to the Ravens game. So
Sir.
script writers might make that happen too. Sorry to the Dolphins there, but that might happen. But then this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one right here. Is the Rams Lions game. There's so much going on in this game, and we'll talk about it more when we get to the actual pick. But let's move on. We've got our first game to talk about this week. We got the Browns taking on the Texans in just a little bit when we're recording. It's only in like a couple hours. And this was surprising to me. No one picked the Texans. This was a Browns clean sweep. It's our only sweep this week.
It's the Browns defense is just so good, and CJ Stroud is just a rookie. He's got no playoff experience. And Joe Flacco has their offense going nuts.
Joe
So
Flacco is elite.
he is.
He is.
Joe
I will
Flacco has
agree with
the
that.
most playoff experience
Yeah.
in the playoffs this season.
I think-
Super Bowl.
I think Joe Flacco needs one more win to be up there with like the highest winning percentage in postseason.
He has never lost a wild card game. He's 5-0 in the wild card.
It's not going to end this week.
I don't think
also,
so.
just some clarification for people who are watching. That man telling you to stay indoors right now is a little local Alabama celebrity. He's our
James
weatherman.
Spann.
James Spann's the
He's
weatherman.
the weather authority.
He's
all right?
he's pretty well known
Yeah,
around the
he's pretty
entire
well known.
nation. Like
Around the
people-
South, especially.
Yes, people around the nation know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But-
Really
But he's
context.
also still a local Alabama weather
Yeah.
guy. Although
Well,
I do have a picture with him, and that's one of my most prized possessions is the fact I got to shake that man's hand.
Yeah, but you're from Alabama, so it's like
Yeah,
Uh,
Well, he also does like radio for like other places besides Alabama too.
Yes.
So he is known outside of here. But yes, of course, he's our biggest celebrity here,
Mhm.
other
It
than
was-
maybe
it-
Alexander Shinara.
It was Nick Saban, James Spann, Alexander Shinara in that order.
Yeah, but
my
there is
favorite
a
part-
there's a weather thing this week. Obviously, we'll get to that in a minute. But,
my favorite part of this entire slide is that the trophy just has your text here. Still
oh
on it.
yeah. I thought that
done
would
it
be funny.
themselves. They just haven't customized it yet.
Yeah. This was Jason's idea for the sweep this week, and apparently I just shot it down right away, but then I still did it. So,
He did not sound like he liked the idea whenever it happened.
to be fair, do I ever sound excited about anything? It's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I do think it's crazy. For this game, I think a lot of people had, at the beginning of the year, a lot of people had the Browns as like a dark horse team in the playoffs. But now, I think especially, no one could have expected Joe Flacco to be the one taking them into the playoffs. And then they're just, I mean, because their defense has been good since the beginning, but then their offense has exploded since Joe Flacco took over. But then no one could have expected the Texans to win the division this year either. So, crazy year.
this
I think
is Go ahead, Jason.
I was to say I think the Browns are one of the top 4 teams in the playoffs this year. Like I could see them going to the AFC Championship at least.
You can
What were
do
you going
it.
to say, Ryan?
That's
I was
that's an
saying-
at least prediction.
This is one of those probably the most game out of the ones this year. This is one of those crazy ones where if you look like 3 or 4 years ago at these two teams, you would not have fucking predicted the Browns and Texans to be in like the playoffs at all.
Oh.
Like these were dog shit franchises not like a
Poverty.
couple years ago.
3 years
Yeah.
ago.
hmm So it's pretty crazy. They're both here at this point, and they're both like pretty elite teams. Like, yeah, we all swept on the Texans. The Texans aren't a fucking bad team though.
No, I
No,
can
not at
definitely
all.
see the Texans winning this game. I really can. So, and of course, it is at home. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in Houston for this game. They're probably pretty hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We've got the Dolphins taking on the Chiefs, and here's the whole weather thing we were talking about. It's not actually going to snow, so this is a little bit misleading, but it is going to be apparently -4 degrees Fahrenheit at that stadium, according to the newest forecast from Jason here. He's the James Spann of our podcast.
Yeah, that's negative 30 degrees with wind chill is what I get to look forward to because I made the mistake of purchasing tickets.
You can always sell them. It's not too late.
Oh,
No. It's he's already committed now. He has to go.
Just please,
fully committed.
yeah, just make
Be
sure
safe,
you are
obviously, yeah.
layered up, man. Make sure. 'Cause
Take
it's...
your shirt off and paint your chest.
Yes.
I mean, there will
If I do
probably
it for
be
more
somebody.
than 5 minutes, I would get frostbite.
I would say there will be somebody there that does that. I bet they will be drunk enough to do it.
Oh
Hey.
no, because especially if they're drunk, they will die.
Oh
this
yeah, I know.
weather is not. This is not fun weather. This is dangerous weather.
Yeah, no, this is life-threatening cold. So yeah, like
Also,
everybody
Gavin
said,
can't sell his tickets. He bought all the winter gear already.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
it sounds like he just needs it anyway, living there. So
So I just want to go ahead and bring it up since we didn't really talk about it. So Ryan and Gavin picked the Dolphins. Everyone else picked the Chiefs. I'll say my reasoning real quick is that Tua is terrible in the cold. I really hate that he's having to play in this condition. I've seen in person Tua play really badly in the cold, and it wasn't anywhere near this bad. And then also Gavin is going to this game, and he's never seen the Dolphins win in person. So,
and it's not going to change.
So I'm sorry. I really hope the Dolphins win.
Me too.
I really like the Dolphins. They're my number 2 team, but this one I still have to pick the Chiefs here. And somehow, some way, even though the Chiefs have been bad this year, they'll find a way to fucking play good in the playoffs and fucking make everyone forget about how bad they were in the regular season.
Gavin,
I just see this going from. I see this going from a passing game, what it was supposed to be in regular weather, to strictly ground game. And yes, Pacheco runs like he has beef with the turf, but we also have Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert, and Tyreek Hill possibly being able to go through like jet sweeps and things. I think we're in a good spot if it ends up turning into just a ground and pound type game. I don't see this. It's going to be 30-mile-per-hour winds, if I'm not mistaken. There's not going to be a lot of throwing the ball. And especially whenever both quarterbacks are going to be definitely wearing the Tom Brady scuba suits out there, I don't see there going to be a lot of
except for Tua already said he's not wearing gloves though.
That's the dumbest thing. Tua said he's not wearing gloves in this game.
His hand's gonna be like purple.
I was saying he's
gonna lose his fingers.
I was saying he's going to lose feeling in his hands within the first 2 minutes of playing in the game.
I agree with what Gavin said with the whole passing thing, because I'll tell you right now, I made a Prize Picks bet, and I took the Patrick Mahomes and Tua less than passing yards on Prize Picks, because I'm just like I don't see them passing a lot. It's gonna be a run game for sure. But yeah, I don't know.
With all of us saying this, it's going to turn into a 30-point on each side shootout, just 400 yards through the air somehow. They just figure out a wind stream that just takes the ball directly to the receiver's hands.
I mean, that would be my luck. Yeah.
Gavin, if they do win, though, you need to get a Gatorade bath.
You're trying to kill him.
About to say it would freeze before it got to his shoulders.
I think it's a good idea. I think Tyler's onto something.
Hot chocolate bath.
You tilt over the Gatorade bottle and a cube of cylinder of fucking Gatorade would just fall out and conk Gavin on the head and knock him out.
He's never seen them win. He's got to celebrate if they do win.
Yeah, and then he'll die and
brain damage.
He'll get to see the Dolphins win and instantly die because he got too cold.
He dies happy though.
Or there's a 50-pound block of ice, as Ryan said, crash onto his skull and kill him.
If I'm going to celebrate the Dolphins, if the Dolphins do win, the way I'm going to celebrate is by running back to the vehicle and turning on the heater as soon as I possibly can. That's my celebration.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you were going to run onto the field.
No.
So are you saying if you watch them lose again, you're just going to sit outside the rest of the night?
I mean, there's also going to be there's going to be some tears rolling down the side of the face as
they're going to freeze. They won't
freeze right here.
I know we
Oh,
make
man.
fun of the whole thing with me and Ryan getting into the argument about the weather, but this game I did pick the Chiefs because of the weather strictly.
Yeah.
I do hope that the Dolphins win though, because fuck the Chiefs. No one wants the Chiefs to win this game. So
No,
That's true.
no.
you guys have seen as the season progresses that I've liked the Dolphins less and less, but they're my favorite team in this game. So
This
Uh,
game.
I'm trying to will. I think this is like the only bold prediction I have at the beginning of the year that could potentially come to fruition is Chiefs lose round 1 of the playoffs. And so that's what I'm trying to. If I pick
I
Dolphins, I'm
knew
trying to
it.
will
I
that.
literally was thinking that when I
Yeah.
was looking at your pick. I was like, he just wants his bold prediction to be right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I
they
wasn't
would let Pete
shocked at
Carroll.
all.
They would let Pete Carroll retire. Seahawks aren't top 5 offense. It's like I got nothing else going on. I try this. I don't remember what my 5th one was, but
hey, you know
no,
what?
Jaguars go to Super Bowl. Not fucking happening, obviously. So
You know what bold prediction did happen this year?
What?
Jordan Love was a top 8 quarterback.
Number
What
7.
did I say?
It made me so mad. I was like, number 7. At least it wasn't number. If it was
God.
number 8, I would have been more mad. But given that it was
I
number
told
7, I was like, yeah, I guess he shouldn't have done top 5 because then it would have
I
been
said he
wrong.
wouldn't be top 5. I knew he wouldn't be top 5.
You just knew he would be 6, 7, or 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I need this so I get one bold prediction right.
All right, let's
Yeah,
move on.
My bold predictions are I need the Chiefs to lose either this round or the next round because I predict them to not go to the AFC Championship.
All right, let's move on. This one's interesting, but not surprising, I don't think.
No.
You got the Packers taking on the Cowboys. Everyone picked the Cowboys except for the Packers fan himself, Matthew. Let's hear it, Matthew.
All right. So, couple of things. For starters, I know it's different teams than it used to be, but the Packers are 9-1 in the last 10 games against the Cowboys. We might have had, yeah, I mean, obviously our team used to be a little bit better whenever we had Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, whatever. The Cowboys are horrible against the run, and Aaron Jones is on a hot streak. I think he's had 300 100-yard games in a row. Against number 1 receivers, the Packers have played amazing as of recently, stopping Justin Jefferson for like 30 yards. I can't remember who the one was after that because I'm losing my train of thought. I'm super nervous about this game, but I really do believe the Packers can pull it off. We beat the Lions this season. We beat the Chiefs this season. What's one more? The Cowboys play awful and the wild card also. So we'll see. I've got faith.
I will say the person you're thinking about probably is DJ Moore because he didn't do
Yes.
anything in the final week.
That is who it was.
Yeah. Trust me, I know because he was on my starting lineup. You're welcome. Anytime he was on my starting lineup, he wasn't good.
And the people who have covered them two was Harrington Valentine, our rookie that we drafted this past year. So we'll see. I am super nervous, but I am excited about this game.
Just for injury update standing, AJ Dillon has been downgraded to doubtful. So it'll be Aaron Jones and Patrick Taylor getting the majority of the carries, looks like. And then Jair Alexander is questionable like he's been all season.
Yeah.
So but I do think y'all really need him for this game. Because if not, you got CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks and Ferguson out there, and we've seen what they can do if they get rolling. So
I think this is
I
one
think-
of the most interesting games just because it could really go either way. Even though obviously the Cowboys are heavily favored, we know how Dak normally is in the playoffs. So that's an interesting thing to think about this year.
Jordan Love has been on a tear. I mean, he's had multiple 300-yard games in the past 5 weeks. I mean, he's got the offense humming right now. And the whole Jair situation, he's barely played all season, and we've done fine. So we'll see.
I just want to throw this
We'll
out
see.
there. I'm going to give a compliment to Dak Prescott because before the season, he stated that he was not going to have more than 10 picks this season. And at the end of the year, he ended with 10 picks. So congratulations to him for predicting that one right. He got his bold prediction this correctly.
he actually finished
Very
with
bold
9.
prediction.
Oh, it was 9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he finished with 9. He finished with less than 10.
I did not.
30
I thought it was 10.
36-9 touchdown to interception ratio this
It's
year.
honestly insane.
Could have been better.
We were
Good
saying
stat
that
line.
he was in the MVP conversation this year. He really was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And it's also the Cowboys have not lost at home at all this year, so them playing at home also helps them a lot here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I would be most worried about, I think, as a Packers fan.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm very nervous about. And this is the Mike McCarthy Bowl. He's trying to get his revenge on the Packers.
Yeah,
And Mike McCarthy doesn't want to get fired
that too.
again.
For
The
Bill
Cowboys-
Belichick, yeah.
The Cowboys could be coached by Bill Belichick next year if they lose this game.
That's disgusting.
I'm really hoping that the Packers end up winning it. I'm really rooting for them. The only reason I picked the Cowboys is just because in the playoff bracket, it's like, all right, I think it's gonna be the Cowboys, but
I think the
let's go.
Cowboys put up
Go
60.
go on this one.
They put up 60 this week.
You're
Oh,
done.
damn.
Y'all defense is ass.
It's. I mean, I just told how we just shut down the two of the better receivers in the league the past 2 weeks. They had like a combined 60 yards.
Against the Bears.
You guys are
But still,
ass.
DJ Moore. DJ Moore had
Take it.
1,300 yards this season.
DJ Moore has been awesome this year. So yeah, I wouldn't discredit that for
But it's
sure.
just DJ Moore for the Bears. That's all they got. And
Cole
like,
Kmet.
yeah, but I mean, it's like I said, just fucking Cowboys have a lot more weapons. On
Mine's
the
just
team.
salty as fuck that the Seahawks aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what it
well,
sounds like to me.
Yeah, I still think
I mean,
it's
that's
true. I
exactly
think
what
the
it is.
Cowboys are gonna roll over them.
Me personally, I think because I'm sure the Cowboys had a huge in betting odds. I think they had them favored by what? Like it was
7.5.
7.5. I would probably consider betting on the Packers for that though. Even though I would pick the Cowboys to win, I would probably take the Packers on the spread. But
100%. I already did.
oh,
Hey,
there you go.
Matthew, you can go to this game for $50 right now.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I thought about it.
Standing room only.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Matthew's legs.
Well, let's move on. We've got the matchup we were talking about beforehand. That this is the revenge game to beat all revenge games I've ever seen. You got the Rams taking on the Lions. This is the Matthew Stafford and also Jared Goff revenge game. You could say this is like the first playoff game in Ford Field ever, I think, or at least. Go ahead.
I was going to say I saw that Lions fans were trying to ban other Lion fans from wearing Matthew Stafford jerseys to this game.
Kind of makes sense.
I'm gonna swap my pick.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's gonna mess up your bracket.
Yeah, that's gonna mess up your bracket and stuff too. You ready for all
It'll-
that?
Yeah, I'll go through and fix it.
Okay. All right. Hold on one second.
'Cause, the attack between Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, I don't think the Lions are gonna be able to slow it down whatsoever.
Also, the Rams are healthy at the right time.
And the Lions defense sucks dick. So
Exactly.
Does anybody else want to change?
Nah.
Okay. We'll fix your bracket when we
I'm
get
gonna
there,
stay with
Matthew.
Lions.
I will say, yeah, that was my whole reasoning. Is I do not like how the Lions' defense has been playing. Their offense is still incredible, but I think Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and then they still have a decent run game with Kyron Williams, of course. I have a hard time picking the Lions here. In a way, I kind of want the Lions to win just because, man, it's been so long since they've even had an opportunity to play like this. But at the same time, I'm really liking the Rams this year, too. They've been insane. But, okay, so now that people have switched, so it's just Ryan and Gavin on Lions' side. Everyone else picked Rams.
Me and Gavin staying together this fucking picks this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not mad with being with Gavin for the picks, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I just
fair.
I
One of
got
them was my fandom pick though, so
That's true.
be worried about that one.
I got 3 words for the Lions on the playoffs this year, and that is not this year. That defense is just too bad.
I believe in the storyline. I believe in the first home field game at Ford Field. They're going to go out and beat the Rams. Also, a lot of bias in this pick. I'll be honest. We'll see
We figured.
Yeah, we'll see the bracket later on. I fucking hate every NFC team in the bracket except for the Lions. So, yeah,
Lions Super Bowl.
Like seriously, it's like NFC side, worst fucking bracket could have been for me. I fucking hate all the NFC teams except for the Lions. So
Well, no, the Cardinals could have made it too.
I hate them too. So
I know it could have been worse. Is what I'm saying.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, I hate the Rams more than the Cardinals.
Yeah, but
What if it was
everybody in your
close?
division could have made it except for the
That's
Seahawks.
true. The Cardinals I
I
care
just
the
have
least
a-
about.
I just have a vision in my head of Dan Campbell at the podium talking to the interviewers, just tearing up, man. Just thinking about this win, big win for everybody, a big win for the city. It was just great to go out there. So I just have that feeling in my head that he's going to go out here and just have a fucking masterclass of coaching.
It's gonna
That's
be
weird. He's not the Rams coach.
It's a
Upset
movie line
deadline.
game. This game is like it's gonna be it's a storyline. That's why they're gonna win. The storyline.
I just have to say though, regardless, you got to look back at the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff trade. Wow, that was a great trade for both teams though. When you really look at it, because you got to think about obviously Stafford went to the Rams, immediately won a Super Bowl, and then of course the Lions didn't just get Goff; they got picks out of it, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs was one of those picks. I think was part of it. I think it was part of a package that led to the Jahmyr Gibbs pick, stuff like that. So both teams, congratulations on making a good trade. So, y'all got anything else to add on this one? Nope. All right, let's move on. Matthew, once again by himself. We got the Steelers taking on the Bills, and this will be a snow game. Even if it's moving, it sounds like it'll probably still be a snow game. Everyone picked the Bills except for Matthew picked the Steelers. Matthew, let's hear it, buddy. What's your thought process here?
I don't have much of a reasoning besides the fact that I don't think Josh Allen's going to be able to get it done. They're not going to be able to air the ball out with all the snow, so they're going to have to rely on the running back. And do you really have faith in Cook? I mean, that's really the way I'm looking at it.
I mean, it worked against the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys also have like the worst rush defense in the league. That's what I mentioned whenever I was talking about the Packers. But I trust the Steelers running backs more than I trust the Bills, and that's really what it came down to.
Well, you know what, Matthew? You convinced me. I'm switching to the Steelers.
Oh God, here we go.
Y'all are gonna make me have to fix all this shit during the podcast. Thank you so much.
No, it's
Uh,
not gonna be that bad. Also,
It'll be fine.
side note, I got an alert on Twitter. According to The Athletic, this game could be moved to Tuesday as well.
Jesus.
If
I will
it's a
say,
snow game, I'm more confident in the Steelers just because I feel like their run game goes a lot harder than the Bills.
I think I saw that the Bills are favored like 10 points in this. Absolutely would take the Steelers on the spread on that too. That's a ridiculous for a snow game to be favored by 10 points like that. That's
I feel like the Steelers though is kind of. I mean, I know that like Najee Harris has been doing well recently, and they've been doing beat us obviously. But like it's kind of a how did we get here moment in the Steelers in the playoffs. I
Yeah.
feel. I don't think they're
because the
playoff
Titans
caliber team, really.
gifted them a spot.
Yeah,
And the
because
Seahawks just choked the fucking
spot.
win. Basically, it was our two teams, like us losing to them, and then y'all, stopping the Jaguars or whatever. That fucking just caused them to win or get them in there. They're like the what am I doing here team? I think in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't. Their offense looks better than it has been as of late, but then also, I just don't think they're a playoff level offense. And then also, T.J. Watt is not going to be playing in this game, so obviously, I know it sounds like this will probably be more of a run game anyway. I just think that's a huge loss for the Steelers, and they're probably going to need T.J. Watt in the playoffs. Whether it's just this game or past that point, I don't know, but. Yeah, if they don't win this game, they're definitely going to miss T.J. Watt and the other ones. So
Yeah, you basically you said my like big reasoning for picking the Bills and not having any doubt about picking the Bills because TJ Watt's out.
Okay. All right, let's move on. We got the Eagles taking on the Buccaneers, and this is the Monday night game, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was a 4-2 split. Matthew and Jason picked the Eagles. Everyone else picked the Bucks. So this one was kind of surprising to me. I understand that. Go ahead, Matthew.
I've been going back and forth like crazy on this game. I still am not confident about picking the Eagles just because of how they've ended this season. But I mean, you got to think they are going to have to turn it around at some point. I don't know if it will be this game, but I think they just have a better roster than the Bucks do, and I don't know. I'm so flip flopped on this game. I really have no idea.
AJ Brown is out, right?
Yeah.
AJ Brown is-
Yeah, I mean,
Julio
Yeah.
Jones revenge game.
I think honestly, whoever this game doesn't really matter. I feel because I think whoever wins this game loses their next game.
I forgot this was a Julio Jones revenge game. That's really funny. I forgot he was on the Bucks for like 5 minutes. That's true.
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams can go very far in the playoffs. So the
Uh,
Eagles have just been on the downturn so much at the end of the season.
my reasoning, and me and Jason usually have the same opinion about secondaries. It seems like, and I'm sure this is probably relatively what Jason thinks too. I think. Well, never mind. Jason picked the Eagles. Never mind. That's definitely not going to be the case. I think for the Bucks, the reason I picked the Bucks over the Eagles is because I have a feeling that we know the Eagles secondary hasn't been very good this year, and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans against that secondary. If they can get the passing game going, I think the Bucks win this easy. I overall think it'll still be a close game, but I feel like they'll just kind of control the time of possession if they can keep the passing game going. So that was my reason for picking the Bucks, and it's at home for the Bucks too.
feel as if I was to change my
the thing
picks,
that went
so I'm not gonna.
You can change it, and we will. I already had to fix a bunch of shit anyway. If you want to change, you can change.
I know that Mike Evans is gonna have like 300 yards in this game with how the secondary is. Change it. Go ahead.
There you go. I knew it was coming.
I don't trust the Eagles. They went 1-5 in their last 6 games. Just somehow sneaked their way in the playoffs for that reason. If they would have started this trend of losing or of maybe a week or two earlier, they probably wouldn't have made it this year. So,
Jason, you sticking where you're at?
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure before we move on or anything. So yeah, now it's just Jason over there on the Eagles side by himself. I don't think there's anything wrong with picking the Eagles here, though. Even though I said this could be a close game. So
All the way this game ends, I think, is it's going to be I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I mean, probably 28 plus points for each team. I think it comes down to Jake Elliott's foot.
oh, I like that. Having to
think
make like a 50 plus yard kick.
The Eagles get the ball back with a minute and a half left. They're all tied up. They get into field goal range and kick a field goal as time expires to magically move on to the next round to be eliminated by whoever they play.
Yeah, I agree with what y'all said. I don't think either of these teams are making it far at this point. So, but somebody has to move on to the next round.
Yeah. One of them has to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't tie.
Can't tie. Anybody else? Nope. All right. I got to put this back into slideshow mode. Excuse me. There we go. All right. So let's look at our first bracket. I guess we're starting with me. We've got obviously we already went through the first round stuff of who picked what. So, but I picked the Browns to beat the Texans, and because I have the Chiefs beating the Dolphins, the Browns will play the Ravens, and that'll be a Joe Flacco revenge game. I basically built my whole bracket around the script writers having fun, and then the biggest thing here, of course, I do have both the 1 seeds making it to the to the Super Bowl. Both the 1 seeds going to the Super Bowl. And I actually picked the 49ers, even though they just got beat up by the Ravens when they played before. Some reason, in my mind, I'm just imagining that's not going to happen the same way again. So I picked the 49ers to win overall. But one thing I'll say before we go on any further with the brackets is we are doing like a competitive thing here, doing like a point system to see how we do. And we're going to basically say 1 point for each game you get right in the first round, 3 points in the second round, 5 points, and then if you get the Super Bowl correct, the winner, you get 10 points. That's how
And
we're
that-
going to do it.
The way that I worded it specifically is each team you correctly identify. So your bracket is locked after the podcast is done recording today. You can't change it at all.
Yeah.
So if you get every single wildcard game wrong somehow, you're going to get no points. So just put it out there.
We will go through and
not
you know,
the bye week teams get stuff.
Well, I guess you could technically get some points, but you're gonna be at a big disadvantage if you get every game wrong in the wild card.
I'm gonna try to keep up with like most possible points that you can get and stuff like that. I got to figure all that out, but I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something else, but even though our brackets are gonna be locked next week, we'll still make our picks like usual, depending on who moves on. But then, of course, this part will be locked no matter what, even if you got one of these first weeks wrong. But
a separate postseason game pick like ranking then? We have our brackets. Then we have a separate thing that's like postseason picks.
No, we're just doing it for fun, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. We got Jason's here. Very similar to mine.
The AFC is exactly the same.
The AFC is exactly the same. He did pick the Ravens to beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. But then the big difference here is, of course, he picked the Eagles to beat the Bucks. So instead of... I can't remember exactly what's different here, but...
It's literally just the Eagles play the Cowboys instead of the Bucks.
Okay. And then,
there's
he
11
also picked...
points of difference between you two.
Yeah. Steven and I are probably going to be pretty close in points.
It's going to come down to the Super Bowl if either of our teams make it.
Yep.
But then let's move on. We got Tyler's. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. Tyler jumped on the Rams bandwagon here. Got them going all the way to the NFC Championship.
But he swapped to the Steelers. So now,
fuck! I forgot I got
switched. You have to rearrange his bracket because the Browns would not play the Ravens.
Yeah, hold on.
You had the Bills going all the way to the fucking AFC Championship. Oh my god!
But now you got the Steelers. Oh, so these logos don't copy.
The first.
I say leave it. We'll fix it afterwards.
I would say it won't take very long. I mean,
we've got to repick stuff now.
Yeah, he's got to repick games because different teams are playing.
I already fixed mine, so I went through on the little website and fixed it. So I'll just see a picture of mine.
Okay. Well, god damn it, these are behind it. Whatever.
Dude, just fix it later, buddy. It'll be fine.
We gotta get your picks though, Tyler. So
we gotta get all of your picks. That's why switching this podcast.
Why'd you switch your AFC Championship team?
Just do like I did. Just do like I did and go redo your bracket and then fix it afterwards.
But
we still need to fix it because
we got to repick 3 games.
Okay. Yeah. So who are you? So the Steelers would be playing the Ravens instead.
Yep.
Can I copy these? Okay, cool.
The Steelers, Ravens. Who you got, Tyler?
I'm still picking the Ravens.
All right, Chiefs, Browns. Who do you got?
I picked the Browns.
All right, Browns, Ravens. Who you got?
Still going to be the Ravens.
All right, there we go.
Okay, there we go. That's fixed.
Okay. This is fun. All right, so that's yours. So let me pull it back up there. There we go.
I will say, out of all the possible combinations for the NFC Championship, that's like the most fun one I think you could possibly get.
That's awful.
It would be fun. It'd be high scoring, is what I'm saying. Though it'd be fun to watch.
There's a lot of Cowboys here. That's why
you know
I don't
what,
like
Steven?
It.
I swap the winner for the Rams and make the Rams the winner instead of the Cowboys.
Oh, buddy!
Oh, Rams fucking go to the Super Bowl.
Wow, yeah. Ryan would love that so much.
So much, can't wait.
So you're saying the Rams go to the Super Bowl?
I'd rather have the Rams Super Bowl than the Cowboys.
and then
Yep,
change
that's
the
it.
winner of the Super Bowl to the Rams.
No, no, I'm sticking with the Ravens.
Because I like Matthew Stafford, so I would rather the Rams win the Super Bowl than the Cowboys, honestly. And much rather them both be in there over the 49ers.
Okay.
All right, Tyler, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now we have Tyler's bracket.
Completely different, basically.
Cut all this stuff out. But yeah, so now we got the Rams going to the Super Bowl, and of course the Browns going to run here. Okay, let's move on. We got Ryan's. Luckily, I don't have to change anything on this one.
Actually, Steven,
No.
He's gonna get the Texans to win the Super Bowl.
Oh God.
That would require quite a lot of change.
By the way, if the Jags had made the playoffs, I would have made them win the Super Bowl. Just
Of course.
so I could get my fucking
For your
bang,
bold
but-
prediction. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously if the Lions go out in week 1 to the Rams, Ryan is gonna be massively fucked here.
I'm thinking like fucking. I know that I think the Lions are favored over the Rams, right?
It is. They literally only are favored because of the automatic 3-point advantage for being at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's minus 3 plus 3.
I'm picking a toss up and then 2 upsets to get the Lions to Super Bowl, but the fucking storyline, man. That's 100% biased. Like I said, I hate every other fucking team in the NFC bracket except for the Lions. So
I like it.
Ryan picks strictly on bias.
oh, 100%, except for 49ers Buccaneers.
Yeah.
That one I could have picked the Buccaneers in that shit. That's just stupid.
All right.
But yeah,
Let's move
and,
on. Oh, go ahead.
always say. I don't think I think it's right. I mean, we see here the trend as well. Ravens, they're going to win the fucking Super Bowl. I know everybody think it's Ravens 49ers. It's not a very exciting playoff bracket, I'll be honest, this year, because the 1 seeds are like probably it's going to be them, and if it's not them, it's going to be very surprising. Like, one of them.
It has only happened 14 times that both 1 seeds have made it.
Well, I don't know about both 1 seeds making it, but I'm saying one of the 1 seeds is going to fucking win the Super Bowl. Like, I think it's going to be one of those two.
Steelers
So-
Super Bowl run incoming.
I would
Packers
love it
Super
if I'm wrong.
Stairway to 7, baby. Let's go Steelers.
Have y'all, real talk, before we move on, have y'all heard about this whole, conspiracy that the Super Bowl, the numbers, the
Yes.
Roman numerals, colors matching the teams for, the last several years? Ravens 49ers are those colors. you
It's
know?
actually Ravens Buccaneers.
It could
Oh,
be,
God.
too. That would be... God, if the Bucks made it to the Super Bowl, that would be the stupidest thing.
Is that purple? Is it purple? Red? Blue? Yeah, it is.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Gavin. We got Gavin's. Gavin's, I think, is very similar to Ryan's.
Very similar to Ryan.
Yeah. Of course, he picked the Browns over the Bills, but then,
And
of
the
course, he had the
49ers
Dolphins.
over the Lions.
Yeah.
That's the
But
difference.
he also has the 2 1 seeds making it to the Super Bowl, and then the Ravens
course.
winning.
The way that the Ravens have been able to not only beat but just dog walk the rest of the top tier teams in the league for the back half of the season. I mean, they smoked the 49ers, they smoked the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure they beat someone else and just handily beat them.
They
That was
smoked
a
the
top tier
Seahawks.
The Seahawks. Fuck
Right.
off, Tyler. We're not a top tier team. You don't need to bring that up.
They also
it's
did the
just
Lions
that-
too.
Yeah, that was it. It was the Lions, another team that it was a top team in the NFL. They were just able to go out and just absolutely obliterate. I don't think there's a team that's hotter in the NFL right now than the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think there's a team that's more primed to go to the Super Bowl right now, which is weird to say, but with all the quarterback injuries, some of the top tier teams that could be there aren't there to be able to try and slow them down. I mean, I don't see anything else but a Ravens winning the Super Bowl right now, unless the Browns can pull it off in the AFC Championship.
I feel a lot better about the Ravens now, especially if they have Mark Andrews back, too. Like, that's just another weapon that they've been missing, or you think they've been missing, but they've still been dominant out there.
That'd be a great AFC Championship, though. Honestly, the Joe Flacco revenge game in the AFC Championship.
That
That'd
would
be
be
crazy.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty
Like, I don't
cool.
want the Browns to get there, but I'd be down for it because of Joe Flacco.
All right.
And the next slide, you get to fucking move a bunch of shit.
Yep, sure am. Okay, so what did Matthew change again?
He picked
think it's only on the NFC side.
I think it's
Yeah.
just the Rams, right?
You pick
No,
the Bucks.
I
You pick the
The
Bucks.
Rams and the Bucks.
Mhm.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to fix your Lions run here since you switched to the Rams.
Yep. So that bottom bracket is just going to be the Bucks versus the Rams.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on, my bad, guys.
All right.
Hold on.
End of the podcast. You don't get to change your pick, Matthew.
You're
I
locked
gotta
in.
go to another slide to get the Rams thing here. So there we go. All right, so we're doing the Rams here.
And then you'll have to
And then
find
the
the
Eagles
Bucks.
changed to the Bucks.
Yep.
Way up for that. Hold on.
Oh, go back down. Go back down. It's that last one. There you go. Also, other people picked the Bucks. You could have went to theirs.
That's
Everybody except for me picked the Bucks. So
fuck you guys. I'm trying here. All right. So what do I need to change?
Put them over
Just-
the Eagles. Just put it on top of the Eagles.
nope. Yep. There we
What?
go. Like
Yeah, they play the Packers. Packers are 7 seeds, so the 49ers play the Packers.
Yep.
yeah. Okay. There we go.
All right, you
Anything-
got Rams or Bucks, Matthew?
I picked the Rams over the Bucks.
tell me you picked the Rams over the 49ers too.
No.
Or
That's all. That's it.
Got
Okay.
an NFC West NFC Championship.
All right. There we go. So we got our brackets set officially. We're done. We'll see how we do throughout the playoffs.
Also, we have we still have a 4-2 split between Rams 49ers for all of our Super Bowl winners.
Ravens.
So
Ravens.
Mhm.
I was thinking Rams because for a second I thought
Yep.
wrong. I thought Tyler changed his Super Bowl winner to the Rams, but he
Yeah,
didn't.
like we said, every single person picked one of the 1 seeds because that's like one of them is gonna fucking win it. It's like I'd be so surprised if they don't.
This would be like your ultimate favorite Super Bowl right here, Ryan.
That'd be-
Browns,
that'd be great.
49ers.
The only upside is to be Joe Flacco, and I fucking love Joe Flacco. So
Shout out
God.
today, but the Browns will not win the Super Bowl. There's no way they get past the 49ers.
No,
Well,
nobody in our podcast would be more disappointed if the Texans beat the Browns than Matthew here.
Yeah.
That would fucking suck.
Yeah, that would
Look,
fucking
it's the
so hard.
Cinderella run for Joe Flacco to get his almost second Super Bowl ring.
Do you think as soon as the game is over, like if the Browns end up going to the Super Bowl and winning it, do you think he'll go right to taking a nap because that's what he looks like at the end of every single game?
Probably.
He looks so tired by the end of it.
He's not going to be able to stay
over
awake.
his shit.
He's not going to be able to stay awake for the Super Bowl presentation.
I
He's
can't
gonna be
wait
over
for
there
the
falling asleep.
fucking Texans Eagles Super Bowl, and all of us are fucking just dog shit in our brackets.
God.
Texans Eagles as a Super Bowl.
That'd be the worst for us. We'd all be fucked.
Yeah.
I would get one game right.
Yeah. Yeah, that would mean we could at most get like 1 point other than how the 1 seeds go. Oh my god, that would be awful. All right. Well, that's a podcast. Y'all got anything
That's a
else to add?
Nope.
All right. Ryan, you did the intro. Gavin, you do the outro.
I don't even know if I sound good right now. I have a little technical issues at the end of it.
You seem okay to me.
Yep.
Sounds good? All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so very much for listening to the Always Out of Market podcast. Thanks you so always for tuning in. If you would please share us Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you do your social medias. We're trying to build a bigger community to be able to build a better listening experience for you guys. Thank you all for tuning in once again and letting us penetrate those ear holes. Somebody count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Podcast.
Podcast.
Woo!